By knowing these factors only, you will get idea about how or under which conditions the solubility is get affected, and by thoroughly studying these topics you will easily understand the solubility enhancement techniques which are used to enhance or to overcome the problems of various pharmaceutical preparations and various types of drugs having the problem in the solubility. And these problems are especially shown in the first pass metabolism as well as in the GIT. So now let us study the factors affecting solubility, and at last, after studying the factors, you will be having a 5 MCQ which will check whether you have thoroughly understood this topic or not. So for your self assessment, these MCQs have been kept. So there are mainly or after scrutinizing the factors, the mainly 8 factors are found which affect the solubility. So they are: first is the temperature, common ion effect, particle size, molecular structure modification, effect of complex formation, effect of surfactant, effect of non-electrolyte, and effect of electrolyte. So we will study each and every factor simultaneously and as a separate part, but in this video we are going to study first 3 factors, that is the temperature, common ion effect and particle size. So now first of all, starting with the temperature. So most solids dissolve with absorption of heat, and the solubility of solids increases as temperature increases. So here the key word in this sentence is the substances that dissolve with absorption of heat. So the substances which or in which the heat gets absorbed, they are termed as endothermic reaction, and the substances in which the heat is liberated or heat is released, they are called exothermic reaction. So here it is shown by one of the example that solubility of sodium chloride, sodium nitrite and potassium nitrite in water increases with increase in the temperature. So as the above solutes are dissolved in a solvent like water, they observe increase in temperature and they are endothermic reaction. So for endothermic reaction, for increase in the temperature, there is found to be increase in the temperature, as here the equilibrium shifts towards the right hand side or in the forward direction. While for solids following the above rule, there are chances that it can cause decrease in solubility. Example, solubility of calcium hydroxide in water. So this is a type of exothermic reaction, and for exothermic reaction mainly the solubility gets decreased with increase in the temperature, as the equilibrium shifts towards the left hand side, and effect of the temperature on the solubility of solids can be represented by a use of a solubility curve. So what is solubility curve? Solubility curves are drawn between the solubility and temperature. It shows the effect of temperature on the solubility of substance. So the relation between the temperature as well as solubility can be easily shown by this solubility curve. Solubility curves of substances like calcium acetate and calcium chromate shows a decrease in solubility with increase in the temperature. So they are mainly the exothermic reactions, while those of sodium nitrate, lead nitrate show a considerably increase in solubility with increase in temperature, as they follow the endothermic reaction. So this is the solubility curve. So here on the x-axis we can see that a temperature is there, and at y-axis we can see that a solubility is there. and here the various compounds are plotted. So you can see that with the increase in the temperature, the solubility of compounds like NaNO3, KNO3, then potassium chlorate, KClO3, NaCl. So that compounds show a rise in solubility, and in that sodium nitrite as well as potassium nitrite show a high rise in the solubility, while potassium chlorate and sodium chloride show a less rise in the solubility. While in the solutions of calcium carbonate and the calcium chromate, you can observe that with the increase in the temperature, the solubility decreases. So they are exothermic reactions in which the heat is liberated. So this is the solubility curve which is necessary in order to understand the relation of temperature with that of solubility. Now, many drugs behave as a weak acid or weak base, so their solubility is affected by pH of the aqueous solvent. So whenever you dissolve a particular drug in a particular solvent, so upon dissolving that drug in a solvent, they play an important role in deciding the solubility, as due to this the change in the pH can be observed, and the solubility is also gets affected by the pH. The ionized form of acidic or basic drug is considered as soluble, whereas unionized form of drug is considered as insoluble. So here in the previous video we have discussed that like dissolves like. So here if the drug is dissolved in a water, and if it is ionized in nature, or whether it is acidic or basic, and it should be ionized, then it get easily soluble, otherwise it remains insoluble. While a weakly basic drug is more soluble in acidic medium, and acidic drug is more soluble in basic medium. So this is the rule that we can consider by studying the example, or by considering the example of weakly basic drug like tolbutamide, which is mainly used in the treatment of diabetes, then phenylbutazone, which is also used in the treatment, and they are weakly basic drugs and they can be solubilized into the acidic media only. So for their solubility enhancement, acidic medium should be used, while the acidic drugs like aspirin, then paracetamol are only soluble in basic medium. As they can ionize properly, they are insoluble in the relevant medium due to poor ionization. And if the particular drug is insoluble due to its unionized form, then that drug can be dissolved in a polar solvent by bringing them in the ionized form. So for a drug which is unionized, they can be solubilized into the water by creating or making their salt, and so by reacting with any of the alkali, we can prepare their salt form, and their salt form can easily be dissolved in a polar solvents like water, and so by this their solubility can be enhanced. Now next factor is the common ion effect. So what is the common ion effect? When two or more substances when dissociate and they have one of the common ion present in them, then it generates a common ion effect. A weakly acidic drug like acetyl salicylic acid or aspirin will be more soluble in alkaline media. We have studied this point in the previous slide, that weak acidic drugs are more soluble in the basic media, as it may ionize properly, or then secondly it may be converted to more soluble salt such as sodium salicylate. So by dissolving it in an alkaline media or a strong alkaline media like sodium hydroxide, acetyl salicylic acid forms a soluble sodium salt like sodium salicylate, and by forming the sodium salt like sodium salicylate, it can easily dissolve in a polar solvent. And conversely, if acetyl salicylic acid may get precipitated if some strong acid is added to aqueous solution of aspirin due to common ion effect of H plus ions. So as acetyl salicylic acid is acidic in nature, so upon dissociating it yields H plus ion, and if some strong acid is added, then it is going to also liberate H plus ions upon doing ionization. So here the H plus ion is a common ion, and as its concentration gets increases inside the media, so as a result the weakly acidic like aspirin may get precipitated. Similarly, basic drugs like sulfonamide will be more soluble in acidic medium. Sulfonamide is the antibiotics. Basic drugs will be precipitated from aqueous solution if the pH of the solution is raised by addition of strong base due to the common ion effect of hydroxyl ion. So likewise of the acid, basic drugs can also be precipitated if in a basic drug like sulfonamide, if we add another strong base, then due to this the concentration of hydroxyl ion gets increases as a result of common ion effect, and so that drug which is present, it gets precipitated. Now third factor is the particle size. So particle size play a vital role in determining the solubility. Particle size of the solids also affects solubility in a given solvent. Now generally a decrease in the particle size causes increase in the solubility. So as the particle size is less, then the solubility can be enhanced, as due to this decrease in particle size results in increase in surface area and surface free energy, which ultimately rises the solubility. As particle size is less, so it gets a more surface area, and as higher the surface area, then higher is the solubility, and lower the particle size, then higher is the solubility and higher is the dissolution in the body fluids or in the various solution. So particle size, if it is less, then it provides a huge diameter in order to get solubilized in a particular solvent. So now in this video we have studied the three factors, that is the temperature, common ion effect and particle size. And now how much you have understood this, so based on that there are 5 MCQs which you have to solve by yourself. So okay friends, now you might have got the idea of the three factors, and now in our next video we will see the rest of the 5 factors based upon the solubility. So